This is 6 technology standards set by International Society for Technology and Education. The focus of the 6th standard is to create creative communicators. The main goal here is to help your students to communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. As usual, let's look at 4 different indicators. The first indicator says your students must learn to choose appropriate platforms and tools for meeting the desired objectives of their creation or communication. So what does it mean by platforms? Platforms are a mode of delivery. For example, a blog, video, slide presentation, digital poster, social media site, podcast, website, or other online tool. When you're trying to communicate or express your ideas and thoughts, there are many different kinds of tools you can use. For example, digital camera or video, audio software, graphic design software, writing software, and many more. Let's look at the next indicator. Your students must learn to create original works, or responsibly repurpose or remix digital resources into new creations. Responsibly repurposing and remixing digital resources. What does it mean by that? Well, it means changing the way something was originally used, or combining original assets in a unique way, and as needed, seeking permissions to use content from the author or creator and using proper attributions. It pertains to the copyright and fair use. The point here is changing the way something was originally used. It has to be transformative. Okay, let's look at the next indicator. Your students must learn to communicate complex ideas clearly and effectively by creating or using a variety of digital objects such as visualizations, modes, or simulations. Let's focus on communicating complex ideas clearly and effectively. To do that, we need to deconstruct information and or data and synthesize it so that it is more simply conveyed to increase understanding. For example, using metaphors, comparison, contrast, categorization, and so on. This is the first step to communicating effectively. When the message is not clear, augmenting the unclear message with a lot of visual aids is not going to really help. After the complex and unclear messages are transformed into simpler and clear message, then supplementing or augmenting that message with visualizations such as infographics, word clouds, interactive charts and graphs, models such as concept maps, mind maps, flowcharts, and prototypes, or simulations such as representation or imitation of systems or situations that are not easily subject to experimentation or not really accessible. Simulations are often animated. Such augmentations can be only useful if the message is organized in a clear way in the first place. So augmenting the message with a variety of visuals and visualization techniques would be a very important and powerful skill to have in today's digital age education and business world. Let's look at the 4th indicator, which is the last indicator here. Your students must learn to publish or present content that customizes the message and medium for their intended audiences. To do that, we need to identify both message or content and medium or mode of delivery to successfully convey ideas or creations to various audiences. The audience could be peers, parents, and community members, students. This is actually the most difficult part of this technology standard or technology goal. How can we customize the message and medium optimally for our intended audiences? In other words, how can we design the message effectively for our intended audiences? Are there any guidelines, principles, techniques that we can use? Are there things we're not supposed to be doing, should be avoiding? So in our class, we will learn quite a few multimedia design principles in depth. And I will enforce those design principles throughout all the assignments and projects. As the semester goes, violating those principles will be severely penalized, resulting in losing points for your assignments and projects. As usual, we'll try to learn these skills as a students here, but you also need to put yourself in a teacher's shoes. We'll also think about how you can help your students, your future students, in learning these message design skills.